Factorization, difference of squares. So for difference of squares, we must have two terms. We have two terms, right? If you have a variable, meaning a letter from the alphabet, right? That term must be raised to the power 2. It must be squared. So we have an x here, it's squared. We must have a negative sign, only one. So we have a negative sign here. If we had two negative signs, can't use the difference of square, right? So two terms, the variable raised to the power 2, we have a negative sign, 1, right? So once you identify that, put your brackets. And the next thing, I usually tell students, have the negative sign as in the second term. So we have the negative sign as the second term here, right? So if this question was negative 25 plus x squared, rearrange it as x squared minus 25 before you start working on the question. So the first thing we do, we put brackets squared, keep the minus sign, right? So exactly what's there is what we do first. In front here, we have a 1. The square root of 1 is 1. There's a reason why I do that, right? And x, we put the x. Because if we apply laws of indices, this will be 1 to the 1 times 2, x to the 1 times 2, and we'll get back 1x squared, right? So we're not changing the question at all. The square root of 25 is 5. This line here is equal to this line there, right? So that is the first step after identify is difference of square, right? The next thing we do, open two brackets, empty brackets. We put 1x minus 5, 1x plus 5. This here is your answer. If somebody put 1x, let me just put O. If you put 1x, if you put 1x plus 5, 1x minus 5, it doesn't matter, you get the same answer. Because once you expand the brackets, you will get back the question. Right? You will get back the question. You should get back the question. Next question. We have, right, 36b squared minus 1. So we have two terms. The variable is raised to the power 2, and we have a minus, right? So we have the minus sign second, so we're good to go. So we put our empty brackets first, squared. The square root of 36 is 6. We zoom in a little bit. And you put b, right? Because if we expand this bracket from laws of indices, we're supposed to get back 36b squared, right? Minus the square root of 1 is 1. So once you have this, you have your answer already. It is 6b plus 1, 6b minus 1. I just like to write plus first, that's just my preference. But if you put this first, it doesn't matter. Remember, if you expand the brackets, you get back the same thing, right? So we're pushing for peace now. We have this. Two terms. We have the variable with the x squared and the negative second. Negative term is second. So squared, squared. The square root of 4 is 2. For the c minus, well, the square root of 49 is 7. So our answer is, right? That's the answer right there. Next question. Two terms, variable with the power of 2, and the negative term is second. Right, squared, squared. The square root of 1 is understood to have a 1 in front of the d. The square root of 1 is 1. You put back the d, square root of 36 is 6. We go to your answer one time. Right, that's it one time. This one. Two terms, e to the power 2 is the negative term second, right? So we have the square root of 16 is 4. We put back the e, the square root of 25 is 5. I'm bringing one to jump to the answer. So I might have said the square root of 5, right? Square root of 25 is 5. So we have our answer here, 4e plus 5, 4e minus 5, right? Whatever is in the bracket, right? Whatever is in the bracket here gives you your answer. The next one. Nice. We see we have two terms. And the variables, we have a variable here, meaning a letter here and a letter there. And those letters are raised to the power of 2. We have the negative term second, so we're applying the same thing. Right? The square root of 25 is 5. We put back the y. The square root of 1 is 1, and we put the z. Right? I like to put the z with a little thing in the middle. So the answer is 5y minus z, 5y plus z. Even though I don't have a 1, it's understood. I don't have to write the 1, right? And second to last question, two terms, variables to the power 2. The negative term is second. So we put our square. The square root of 1 is 1. So back the e minus. The square root of 25 is 5. We put back the b. So we get our answer one time. We have 1e plus 5b. And we have 1e minus 5b. Right? If we get in a little trouble, like understanding why this term is equal to that term, check my laws of indices video, right? Because it's a simple fix. Like, for example, 5, if you have 5b squared, this is 5 by 1 by 2, b to the 1 times 2. 5 squared, b squared, 25b squared, right? So check out my laws of indices video, and that will cover that. I'm going to erase this here. All right, last question. So we have two terms. We have variable to the power of 2, nice. We have the negative term second. So we put bracket squared. Square root of 16 is 4. We put the m. The square root of 81 is 9. Put the n. So the answer is 4m minus 9n. 4m. I like to put plus this. Minus 9n. Right? I just like to put plus this. All right. So that's it for difference of squares.